What's good, YouTube land? We're glad you're here. We're finally taking a look at the Lightning Collection. And we're first starting with the Shadow Ranger. Good old SPD number 100. Because, you know, in the show, he fought 100 guys and destroyed them all. Because he's just that fucking badass. But, yeah. Here's the box. It's open. Interesting. A very nice wraparound artwork of the Shadow Ranger. Goes all the way to the back. They even have his logo there in gray. Or at least the show logo. The same artwork on the side. I know I read who did the artwork for these, but I can't remember. Hasbro logo. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. And on the proper back is an action shot of the action figure. Along with another Hasbro logo. And that's it. So, where's knife? I'm gonna get it open. Frickin', these took a long time to get to Canada. Or at least anywhere near me. By the time I already bought them online, I've seen them in stores now. But if you think about it, in a way, these are kind of like, if you're looking for a thing to compare it to, they're kind of like Marvel's traditional Build-A-Figures. You know, that line, like, without the figure building, though. Like, I think they're best related to that. They're closer to that. Or much better versions of Bandai's Legacy Collection, which I have one sitting over here that I will compare to. But in the background, you just got the lightning bolt, because Power Rangers, obviously. And here we go. We got the figure, 2 extra hands. That thing is probably his neck to go with the Doggy Kruger head. And the Master License, I believe it was called in Japan. I don't remember what they called it in America. Probably it's the Shadow Morph. No, it was the Shadow Morpher. So let's get Doggy out of there and see how this brand new line of toys feels. Okay. Ankles feel kind of weird, but yeah, plastic is a bit soft in places, but yeah, it feels like I could break this easily, unfortunately. Okay. I think it'll be a bit stronger than I give it, and definitely. Is ABC the soft stuff? Because it feels a little bit like that, but yeah. So, get a good shot. Can you get a full body shot? This is as close as I can get of the Shadow Ranger. Really badass suit design. I really love it. The black and the red and it's not silver, it's more like teal, are a really good color combination you don't see often. Sure, you see black and red, but not often there aren't very many Power Rangers who are metallic teal. Or just, it's blue that almost looks like silver. I don't really know how to describe this shade of blue other than teal. First off, I'll give you a comparison to the only other Shadow Ranger figure I have. And this guy has not survived. Well, he's physically survived, but the paint has not survived. Because this guy came out, 2005? When SPD was actually on the air. I've had this guy for such a long time. But and this guy had a light up gimmick in his helmet, I believe. But the other comparison, where is he? Look at that pose. Ugh. Here, let's get you. This is the Legacy Collection Ninja Storm Yellow. About the same scale. You could roughly call them the same scale. But look how much more accurate Hasbro is actually getting with the suit designs. This has been a problem ever since the 90s. Like my whole life collecting these, they've been roided out muscle heads. And that's not Power Rangers. Power Rangers look more like this. They're supposed to be well-fit teenagers, not muscle-bound gym freaks. And also, the suit is spandex. It doesn't hung as tight as this does. Like, that doesn't even look like a costume. I don't even know. I was so happy to see when the first promo pics of these guys were revealed that they would actually look like the spandex in the show. And I don't care what Dr. K says, it is spandex. Should we go over articulation? Let's go over articulation. The head has a swivel. Doesn't, well, okay, it's on a ball joint as well. Or no, it's on 2 hinges. So you can get full exercise swivel and a bit of up and down. No left to right though. There's I'd say this is a tiny bit, but not insignificant. Shoulders, full universal joint with a little bit of ratcheting. Let me turn that off. Because you gotta hear the ratchet. It's only like 2 clicks, but it goes all the way out. Smooth forward. You do have a bicep swivel. You do have a double jointed elbow. Hinge into hinge. You don't get quite full bend, but it's better than a single joint. And the wrists are on a swivel and a hinge. Show the toy to the camera, dumbass. So you can kind of do this thing. Having a swordsman with a wrist swivel is very nice. Thinking about it, all 3 of the... let me think. Well, the first wave is very Mighty Morphin heavy. But it's also, all the Power Rangers are sword wielders. SPD Shadow, Mighty Morphin White, Dino Charge Red. The only other 2 are Lord Zed and Goldar, who are desperately in need of new figures, and I want to pick those up so much. What else? We've got a waist joint, or an ab joint, and we have a, it goes that far. Wow, that's quite a way back. You do have, wow, I'm surprised you have side to side motion. A little bit there, a little bit there. That also gives you a really weirdly cut, not even waist joint, just like torso, like, the waist joint would be down here where the belt is, but it's up here, so he's very dynamic. He's also pointing at you! Hips go all the way forward, not back. They can't really go back due to the butt plate. That's a big problem I find with modern figures that include that, like the wrestling figures and all that. Everyone has a butt plate, so they have to go basically out to the side if they want to go backwards any. Full, not quite full, but quite good Van Damme ability. You can do Chun-Li's helicopter kick. You do have a thigh swivel. Did I mention there was a bicep swivel? I feel like I might not have mentioned there's a bicep swivel. But there's a bicep swivel, and there's a thigh swivel. Double jointed knee as well. Thankfully, the shin armor does not get in the way. You can actually slide it all the way up to it will go that high, and it still doesn't get in the way. Oh, that's my other fan. I was like, what is that noise? Ankle tilt, you do have. Pretty good. Forward and inward and outward. And also, it's a bit tight, but you do have a forward and backward toe joint, which has a click in it for some reason. But it's strong enough that you can actually get it in between the clicks and it'll stay there. So, base body, pretty good for articulation. Competent with a modern figure, and really, I don't feel like you need much more. Wait, you have 2 ab joints, I think. Yeah, because you can bend back that far, and you've got freaking 2 ab joints. Now, there have been problems with the paint on these figures, given it's a mass-produced toy line from Hasbro. There generally might be some problems. And my biggest issue is the fact that the SPD logos on his shoulders aren't painted silver. If I can show you the product picture, those are clearly painted with the silver. And also there's no paint on the blue bits on his forearms where there should be. I can show you that one right there should have the red bands on his wrist and the silver piece on the inside. This guy doesn't have the red on his wrist, which is really unfortunate. But it's the best we're going to get because Bandai Japan doesn't make Sentai figure arts anymore. But I wish they put in a little bit. It's $29.99. I don't think I would have minded paying the extra amount for like a full proper paint job. Just saying. So now we get to the accessories. This whole tray of accessories. So we first have the Doggy Kruger head. Not bad work on the Doggy Kruger head. The eyes look pretty good. They don't look off to the side or anything. Thankfully. The hair is textured pretty good. It looks like he did in the show. And actually, I really like the coloring. The coloring looks fairly accurate, and the skin is nicely textured, and it's a weird alien dog. And also, I believe this piece will be his neck. So, let's take off his head. Yeah, it is a ball joint. Holy crap, never mind. It's just kind of stiff. So, there's no real information. I'm just going to assume. Let's wait. Just gotta put this. Just by coloring, I'm gonna assume it goes there to match to match pretty well. And I don't think he actually ever took his helmet off in the show. I think he was either full suit or no suit kind of thing. Oh, I didn't even notice. There's a butterfly joint as well. that's really good. Like, I'm still... Although, it kind of doesn't work as well as you want, given the material for his chest piece is kind of rubbery, like, softer. But, yeah, you got a full butterfly joint as well. Look at that. Me being impressed by finding brand new articulation points. That's a good figure. So, yeah. Since the you do have quite a bit more range with the Doggy Kruger head, it feels. But we'll leave it on for now for the rest of the review, and we'll get out his Shadow Saber, aka the D-Sword Vega for Deca Ranger fans. Will fit in his hand. I kind of feel like also the paint budget wasn't very much for the Shadow Saber. It's a very iconic weapon, in my opinion. But it's kind of like, the detail's there, if you can see it. It's just there's nothing to highlight it. It's just straight black, so it's kind of gets lost a little. And there was detail on the teeth on the actual prop as well. And he has the, I believe it goes this way. Yes. Let me see. Well, will it go the other way? I mean, it'll go the other way, but how do I make? I'm just trying to play with my action figures. Yeah, you can't really... He doesn't really have the articulation to put it back in its sheath, but thankfully he does have a wrist swivel so he can actually point it at somebody he's fighting. Lord knows, I wish Transformers had wrist joints like this. But yeah, he can point it at somebody. And I'm sure you could probably, he might hold it in this hand, but it's not going to be very well. That's why there's a second set of hands in the box. But also related to the Shadow Saber is an effect part, which you somehow wrap around. I don't understand how. Yeah, I'm very confused by how I actually use this. There's no instructions, so... Yeah. Where did it go? Hey. This is a meh for me. Kind of something like that. Where it can't even go around the... There. You just kind of wrap it around, and his wrist is not nearly strong enough to actually hold it. But you can do the, I guess you can imitate the, I don't even remember the pose, but his Shadow Strike finisher, you could somehow imagine he's doing that. Oh, it's this, sort of. And then he slides and slices. Ooh-ah! That kind of thing. But put that off to the side for now. Let's look at the hand options. You've got a balled up fist for his right hand, and another. Oh, where did it go? Oh, Jesus. And you've got his basically signature pose hand for the right hand. And they're all just on a little stick. The hinge is actually slightly ratcheted, but should I look it up? Should I look up the pose of the SPD Shadow Ranger? Here. You give a shot of the punchy fist. Yeah. I don't really like I don't like this style of hand swap. It doesn't feel very good. But nope. Let's look up the pose of the Shadow Ranger. Besides his sword pose. There really aren't that many. Okay. I can't seem to find one. No. Come on, Google. Help me out. I'm getting tons of pictures of this toy, though. And a Lego Shadow Ranger? That's interesting. Okay. I've never... Okay, fan art of a white Shadow Ranger, but... Oh, come on. You're telling me nobody took a picture of him standing with that pose? Or am I thinking incorrectly? Oh, well. Never mind. There's a fist, and there's a pointing hand. There you go. And last accessory is the... I don't want to lose it, but it's the... Does he have a hand to hold it? It's so small. It's the Master License, or the Shadow Morpher. It's only painted on one side, unfortunately. But, oh well, he doesn't... Unfortunately, it would clip onto his... Wait. Can you? No, you can't clip it onto his belt. Because it's just a flat piece. Damn. They have... The SPD suits have a... On the... That piece of the belt buckle, or like, not the belt buckle, but that piece of the belt is a holster for their morpher. Why you couldn't mold it into this figure, unfortunately, I don't know. So, that's why I think this hand is... Can this hand even hold it? Like, kinda? Not really. You have to flex the plastic a bit. I don't like that, but you can get it in his hand. Or, I guess if you want to hold it like that, you can do that. I do wish they I don't know. Is he? Is he got? Is he? It looks like he's giving the double, like the gun salute to somebody. Like, you know, that's exactly what he's doing. He's saying he's gonna shoot you. And now it's morphin time. Not time to put that. It's well, it's morphin time, but it's also time for SPD emergency. Can I put the? There we go. Let's get his helmet back on. Let's put his sword in his sheath. And wrap up this review of the figure. Overall, minor paint apps aside, like minor paint issues aside, this is a solid figure. Definitely one of the best Power Rangers figures released in a long time. Just in my opinion, I think Hasbro understands this better than Bandai does. What Power Rangers actually, whatever. Yeah, I'm still playing. I'm playing Mortal Kombat 11. No, I don't want to play Baraka. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I've got one more to look at right now, so we're gonna move quickly on. This is very satisfying overall figure. Minor complaints are allowed, like their paint issues, missing paint. The helmet proportions is another thing that gets me. The helmet, this helmet, you wouldn't be able to tell unless you watched the show or looked at pictures of the suit, but the helmet looks too fat on the chin. It's supposed to slender down. Where's my... There's a good example of it. Like, it's skinny with a long neck. This kind of looks fat with a short neck. Like, and you could complain that those lines on the mouth plate aren't supposed to actually be colored in. Stuff like that. It looks like he has quite a twisted Joker smile on his helmet. Nonetheless, I definitely think it's worthwhile to look into these. If you're looking for a highly articulated Power Rangers figures that don't look like muscle men and also have a decent amount of accessories that relate to the character, then, well, I think these are the figures for you. And they're pretty cheap at like $29.99 Canadian. I think that's a solid price for what you're getting. So, yeah. We will move quickly, just like it has, just like everyone, back to Mighty Morphin. Although, if you're not watching in that order, then that sentence doesn't make sense. But nonetheless, I said it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and may the power protect you. Bye!